been 4 weeks. Where have I been? What have I been doing? So just like a quick high-level overview where I've been in Mexico and I've been living my best life. I've also gotten braces, cheese, and I've just been working on a lot of different freelance projects, so my time has just really been stretched, but not stretched enough to where I can't come to give you a new video. Okay, so that's basically the gist of where I've been. Where I'm headed is I am creating an adult summer camp for myself, and that is going to consist of, please don't judge me, that's going to consist of me learning how to swim. So I'm taking a 4-week course on how to swim. I'm also going to learn how to skate because that's something that I enjoy doing, but it's very painful for me because I don't know how to do it for real. So I'm learning how to skate and I'm learning how to swim, and then in the midst of those 2 courses that I'm enrolling myself in, I'm also just gonna do a lot of outdoor activities like hiking, maybe Six Flags, the whole thing with the Goliath. It's questionable. So I'm thinking about that, but I don't know. I also just want to go on more walks, go to the conservatory, just do a lot of outdoorsy things because it's summer and summer is always a vibe. So I definitely want to indulge in everything that is going to give me a summer camp feel. So that is where I am headed. And speaking of summer, this brings me into the topic that I wanted to talk about. Summer for me, I feel like I spend much more money over the summer for some odd ass reason, and I don't enjoy it because what ends up happening is that the things that I've purchased or the restaurants that I went to because it looked good on TikTok or Instagram usually ends up wasting my money and my time, and now I'm pissed off because where was the experience? So what I am getting ready to talk to you about is getting out of that social consumer mindset. And what is a social consumer? A social consumer is an individual like me who engages with social media and takes those interactions and blends them with their consumer behavior, ultimately creating the social consumer. This is the perfect customer and target audience for literally every business. And the only downfall of that is that it hurts our pockets. So how do you know if you're a social consumer? You know if you're a social consumer if, for instance, you go on Instagram and you see something you like, and instead of just liking it and going to the next post or even just getting off the app, you then take it a step further and you go on Amazon, Google, whatever, and you're looking for this product and you have to buy it in that moment and you buy it. That is you becoming or being a social consumer. And I feel like we all fall into that because it's easy. It's easily accessed. So it doesn't take more than a click here, go there, add to cart, make a payment. All right, so now that we know what a social consumer is and what it looks like, now we're going to get into the juicy stuff. How do we get out of that mindset or just start recognizing when we're in that mindset? So I have 4 tips that I think will be pretty helpful in getting this done. Are you ready? So the first tip that I have for you is to recognize your triggers. Identify whether it's the actual content or the platform you're using that's persuading you to get things. Once you identify those triggers, it'll be easy for you to be aware of what's happening when you're in the emotion of wanting something. And it'll also help you to know what to limit so that you're not putting yourself in a vulnerable position. The second tip is to limit your exposure. I know this is easier said than done, but once you begin to learn how to limit your exposure to these kind of contents that really do trigger you, you'll see that the less of it that you'll see, the less of it that you'll consume, which is ultimately the goal here, is to experience more and consume less. The third tip that I have, that I personally have used and has actually helped me so much mentally, is curating my feed. So last year I had maybe about 2,000 followers on my original profile, and I don't know, something about it just didn't sit right with my spirit. So I deleted that social profile and I added a new one, and now I only have maybe like 126 followers, 200 something people that I'm following. But I did that on purpose because I wanted to curate my feed to only show me things that I actually want to see. So now I have 100 people that are like family and friends. Another half of that is actually content that I actually want to feed my mind, like motivational quotes, inspirational words, inspirational influencers, stuff like that, real estate, investments, things that'll actually help me move forward. That's now what's on my feed, not the distractions of pretty clothes and pretty makeup and hair and everything that is going to require me to put my hand in my pocket and give my money to someone, versus putting my money into investments and seeing my money grow. So that is the third tip, and I think that's one of the best tips to get started on. Is first, of course, recognizing what your triggers are, and if it's in social media, then you can use the third tip of curating your feed to start limiting your exposure to the triggers that you have and creating a feed that will actually benefit you. The last tip I have for you, and the most important tip, the fourth tip, is to seek alternative activities. And that could be whatever definition of alternative activities that fits you, right? So I find that offline activities are much more potent than online activities, because online all you're doing is you're sharing, you're liking, and you're posting. But when you're offline and you're experiencing for instance, like going on a walk, you're using all five of your senses and you're in a different dimension, honestly. And it just leads to less consumerism and more experiencing life, honestly. So that is the last tip. And I think that that's the most important tip, because our generation in this year, this era of life is just so digital, it forgets all about how we even got to this point. We got to this point because creative people, designers, engineers, mathematicians, etc., scientists, they all had more time to be outside and to be with their families and less distractions of like the phone and the TV. So this is the best tip because it brings us back to our purpose here, right? It's to be a human and to live. And in order to live, you have to stop thinking that it's about having the best outfit or the best house or the best car, right? It's more about building a community, creating great experiences, meeting great people, being of service to others who need you, and experiencing the beautiful nature that surrounds us, the trees that give us air to breathe, the clouds, the sun that gives us warmth. Those are the experiences that are free, right? So yeah, just keep that one in mind. I think this one was like the best tip. I think that these 4 tips are crucial when it comes to getting out of that consumer mindset, and definitely have it as a toolkit in your pocket when you're thinking of ways to kind of reassess and reevaluate how you're interacting with social media. So if you did find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it. Share it. This will definitely help my platform grow and help me reach more people. And if you have somebody in mind right now, definitely share it with them as a gift of love, because we love to share the love. I will catch you all in the next video. And in the meantime, keep growing and flowing, my friends. Peace.